Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. I wasn't expecting to come on again today talking about Jay, bless him. But of course, just every time I think I'm trying to step away from this case and just wait and see things unfold, something else comes out. And, I'd like to let you know what's going on. It's important. Is it true? That's the thing. With the absence of any official confirmation from the police of all these things, and even the family isn't saying anything about the actual investigation. We're left for people like Mark Williams to talk about it, or Isla Traquair, or Paul Arnott, but they've gone all quiet. Now it's Mark's turn, it looks like. So that's what we're going to look at. Some of you probably know already, some of you might not know that Mark's come out, made some statement today that Jay had stolen a Rolex watch. Now, is that definite? This is what I'm just going to present to you what he says. And then, we have to decide whether it's true or not. Honest to God, I'm in the parallel universe again. But first of all, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for everyone who's sticking with me through this case. I know some people are getting fed up of it. But, how can I leave the case behind until it's been resolved? Once we start looking at this, there's still a 19-year-old boy missing. And, just want a resolution to it one way or another. So how can I step away from it? But so I'm sorry for those. There'll be some people I know. I've had messages from people saying they don't want to hear any more about this case, but obviously a lot of people do want to hear about the case. So, as far as I'm concerned, as soon as if new information comes out, I have to present it. So, but thank you for watching my videos, liking the videos. Special thank you to the members. We had a good members live last night. Another members live there'll be tomorrow night. So Tuesdays and Thursdays are members lives. And thank you to anyone who has sent me an email, bought me a coffee, sent me a super, or in any way you've helped support my channel, even if it's just watching at home. Thank you so much. Okay. You might notice I'm a little bit sort of, well, it's just mind-boggling, isn't it, all this? Okay, where am I going to start? Because there's a few things that I want to show you. Oh, I'll say hello to people. So I'm going to say hello to whoever's in the chat at the moment. But I have to say, as people come in, I probably won't get a chance to say hello after this. Hi, David. Hi, Mello. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Julie. Yep, more bizarre every day. I am exhausted. Hi, Real Reggae. Yeah, we're going to look at the photo and see where I think it comes from the Airbnb page or something. But we'll check. Hi, Fragaria. Hi, Carla. Hi, Maria. Hi, BF. Hi, Junior. Gosh, it's everybody as mind-boggled as me. We've gone from, bloody supposed serious journalists doing news updates from bed. It's just, hi, Anna. Sorry, Annie. Hi, Annie. Right, so I'm going. Hi, Chumba. Hope you're well. Hi, Catherine. Okay, so, right, I'll have a gulp of tea. Hi, Ruth. Let's look at the family statement first. We're going to look at Mark Williams' Twonk's Instagram, and he printed out so the family made a statement yesterday, didn't they? Let's have a look at that. God knows what they think of it all, but are they still working with Mark? You never see Mark with the family. Anyway, family of missing Jay Slater released statement. Is he actually working with the family? I just wish I could find out. But anyway, press release. 19-year-old missing Brit Jay Slater's mother, Debbie Duncan, has spoken today through the British Overseas Missing Persons charity, LBT Global, after the Tenerife search for her missing son has so far yielded no results. In her first public comment, she said, is she still working with Mark? Why have they not released a statement together if he's working on their behalf? My son Jay Dean Slater came to the holiday island of Tenerife on the 13th of June with his friend to attend a music festival. On the 17th of June, after not returning to his apartment, he was reported as a missing person. Jay is a normal guy who is in his third year of an apprenticeship, and he is a very popular young man with a large circle of friends. We are a very close family and we are absolutely devastated about his disappearance. Words cannot describe the pain and agony we are experiencing. He is our beautiful boy with his whole life ahead of him and we just want to find him. I mean, it does come over very sincere and very honest to me. I mean, I'm just not, I don't know what's happened with Jay Slater. I just don't know. I have my theory, my hypothesis, which is that he is lost on that mountain somewhere. But you know what? I just don't know. And I'm starting to really worry that I don't know where the truth lies. As soon as people like Mark Williams Thomas and Isla Tranquer and that get involved, everything goes wrong, doesn't it? You know, they blame social media, but it's them causing all the sort of speculation and say the things that Mark Williams Thomas has come out with. I think it's terrible. And I just think, even if it's true, isn't that part of the police investigation? Who is Mark Williams Thomas to release photos of people and say that Jay stole a Rolex and this is part of the investigation? When surely the Guardia are not going to be happy with that. If there's an investigation going on, I'm just a bit he causes misery to families, Mark Williams Thomas. I can't see how what he's released today is helping this family. But you let me know what you think. We do not have any information on his whereabouts. This is his mum still. The Guardia Civil have worked tirelessly up in the mountains where Jay's last phone call was traced. They conducted a land search for 12 days, which involved every resource they had available. Although the land search ended, the Spanish police still continue with their investigations into why Jay had travelled to the location so far away from his accommodation. And this is the question, isn't it? But I don't think it's a massive, I could see that a young person would just go and, off with someone that is not known for very long. I can't see why he would do that. But there could be a million reasons. It could have been for another drink. Those men were going home, weren't they? Maybe they had some drugs, like, I'm not saying like heroin and, not drugs for trafficking, but maybe they had some drugs back at the apartment. They said, oh, you can have them if you want, because we're going out. They were supposed to be going home the next day. Well, if they had any marijuana left or any drug, whatever, and I'm not saying that they did, I'm just saying it's another possibility. They're not going to want to take it through the airport, are they? So it could be they said, oh, if you want to come back, you can have whatever we've got left. I mean, we just don't know. Those men will know that. Those men have been interviewed by the police, and surely they have told the police what the reason was that Jay went back with them. Anyway, we offer our sincere, this is his mum, Debbie speaking. We offer our sincere thanks to the Spanish authorities who continue to follow lines of inquiries. We would like to say to the press news reporters that although we do not want to lose the momentum of Jay's disappearance, we would really like to maintain our privacy and crucially let the Spanish police get on with their investigations without hindrance from the press. So then the next minute, Mark Williams Thomas is in the Sun He works for the Sun, doesn't he? That, you know, he's not there for the family. He's there to get stories for the Sun. And he's certainly got one today that's got everyone talking. But is it true? Is it true? And what do the family think of it? Because then she goes on to say, we are aware of the conspiracy theories and speculation on social media. It's not social media, it's him in newspapers and on some websites. Mark Williams Thomas should not, even if that information is true, it's not for Mark Williams Thomas to give out details of a police investigation to a newspaper. This is what he did with Nicola Bulley, wasn't it? He threatened to sell they threatened to come out with the story about her vulnerabilities, and the police were forced to come out with it first so that he couldn't do what he's done here. Now, I really would like to hear from the family. What do the family think of what he's saying? We can only describe this as vile, Debbie says. We can only describe this as vile. The negative comments are extremely distressing to our family. We also embrace the love and support we've received from across the globe. It's not gone unnoticed, especially from his hometown in Oswald, Twistle, Lancashire. As a family, we would like the world to respect our privacy at this time. So where does that fit in with Mark's, with what Mark's come out with? Let's have a look at what he's come out with.
This appearance has attracted worldwide media attention and as such extensive coverage on social media. This has led to massive speculation with theories at times very misleading and with inaccurate information. Overwhelmingly, people are fascinated and as such want to do their bit to help, whether that be doing their own detective work or just providing comment. What people often lose sight of or don't consider, and I'm sure a number don't even care, is that Jay's family and close friends read a lot of what's posted online and in the media. And some of it has been very unfair and unkind to a family who right now are in total shock and despair. So please just think before you post, and if you would not say it to your loved ones who's missing, then don't say it or post it now. As is a way with this high-profile missing persons investigations, the public and the media want official information. And when this is void, they fill it themselves. I flew out to Tenerife on Monday the 24th, directly to help the family, using my team to help Jay's family get some clarity and answers. My trip and investigation has been fully funded by myself. And many of you will have seen my statement I made on Wednesday afternoon, setting out the parameters and the focus of my investigation. I'm now back in the UK and have been...
Oh, he's back in the UK now. He's back in the UK. And he says he funded it all himself. Well, the Sun has funded it, I think, because they just want a few good stories from him. Do you know, it's breathtaking in his hypocrisy, this man.
Been in contact with Jay's family throughout and kept them updated constantly with the result of my ongoing investigation, making inquiries both in the UK and back in Tenerife. Jay's family were provided with my preliminary findings on Friday, the 28th of June. I've spoken to lots of witnesses and have a clear picture now of what happened overnight of Sunday, the 16th of June through to the morning of Monday, the 17th of June. I'm now in a position to release some of that detail. I'm doing so given the massive interest in this case, mainly to provide some clarity and to clear up the total inaccuracies and misreporting of information which is neither helpful to the police, my investigation, nor, crucially, to the family. We know that shortly before 6 a.m. on Monday the 17th of June, Jay left the area of Veronica Strip, Las Americas in a Sea Leon hire car with two males casually known to him. Jay and a number of his friends had spent time with them both over the previous 2 days. All three males, including Jay, then travelled north via the main motorway, the TF1, to go to the two males' holiday rental Casa Abu Latina in Masca, which was about an hour's drive away. En route, Jay posted a Snapchat saying that he'd taken a £12,000 Rolex from a person. We've been unable to validate this in terms of a reported theft. However, friends of Jay said he would not make this up, and the watch was subject of later conversation between the friends.
So this is what he's claiming, that Jay sent a Snapchat saying he'd stolen this watch, this £13,000 watch. Now, I don't know if Jay stole that watch or not. He's just said himself he can't validate it, but he's putting it out there, isn't he? He's putting it out there, but he can't validate it. But you know, when Jay was on holiday in Tenerife, no matter what sort of scrote he might be in Oswald Twistle, I don't know, would he have stolen a 13,000 Rolex while he was on holiday in Tenerife? Would he have wanted to take the risk of getting arrested in Spain and getting put in a Spanish prison? Just a thing, you know, that occurred to me, but I honestly would love the family to confirm whether this is true or not, because I just don't believe a word this guy says.
Not long after arriving at the rental, Jay, around 7 a.m, had contact with various friends via social media, both inside and outside the rental. And during these calls, various videos, chats were had and pictures sent, including the one he took on the doorstep that many of you will have seen. I am confident that that photograph on the doorstep is him, wearing a throw, a blanket from the apartment, and his black and green Air Max trainers, which he had on the night that he went out. We know at around 8 a.m, there was a level of communication with the host of the rental property in which she communicated by hand digits to him that the bus was leaving at 10 a.m. from the bus stop right by the apartment. With this, Jay walked off, turning left and up the hill. We know that Jay used an Apple iPhone, and the Apple Maps takes you that route up the hill, walking back to Los Cristianos, where he was staying. Whilst on the walk, he talked to and messaged his friends. Whilst walking, Jay spoke to at least 3 people, telling them that he was lost, with little phone battery and without water. He was told to go back by 2 people to the rental.
He said he spoke to 3 people saying he was lost with no phone. Now, before it was only Lucy that we were told that he'd contacted. He's saying 3 people.
He said he could not do that, and that he'd already been walking 30 minutes, and that he was now off-road and was walking on a track where there were loose stones. We know that at 8:49 and at 8:50, Jay sent his location via both Snapchat and WhatsApp to 2 friends. We can confirm that it was Jay using his phone at that stage, and there was no indication that he was with anyone. The location is fixed by GPS, and we've done tests in the area, and it's accurate to 5 to 10 meters. The fixed point is the Barranco Joan Lopez hiking path, which fits the description given by the witnesses that spoke to him, stating that he was on a stony path and having walked 30 minutes from the rental apartment. From this point, no further contact is had with Jay because his phone battery dies. We've received information that would suggest that Jay left the rental property feeling scared, and he would not return to the rental, even though that would have been the most sensible.
So again, he's putting something else out here, isn't he? That there's information to suggest he left the Airbnb property because he was scared. What information, Mark? And what are you doing commenting? If he was scared and there is some foul play here, Mark Williams Thomas is interfering in an ongoing investigation. He's gone back to the UK. We've got no proof that he's got the family's okay to say all these things. We've never seen him with the family. You know, he went out there and saying he was going to work with the family, but was he? Honest to God, I cannot believe a word this man says. Till actually Debbie or someone in the family would come out and say, yes, we authorise Mark to say all this. I wouldn't believe a word that he says. Honest to God, he's such a liar. And his motive is getting with the son, is selling these stories to the papers.
Course of action, and also where he could have charged his phone, got some water, and made contact with friends. We continue to investigate this aspect. We have, however, ruled out hostage kidnapping situation because no credible ransom demand has been made. And we have no evidence at this stage to say there was a third-party criminal involvement.
You've got no evidence of anything. You've got no evidence that he was scared when he left the Airbnb. Now, I don't know about the Rolex watch. He says that he sent a Snapchat saying he'd stolen a watch. Well, I'd like to hear I'd like to see that Snapchat first of all. I'd like to hear from the person he sent it to. I mean, was he making a joke? Did he steal a watch? Would he be that stupid to steal a watch in a foreign country and not think he was going to end up going, being caught or arrested? Whose watch was it? Where is the person whose watch it is? Have they come forward? God, if you lose a bloody £13,000 Rolex watch, you go to the police station, you make a denuncia. That's what they call it in Spain. Because to get that money back off your insurance, I've taken people to the Guardia a million times, people who are on holiday and they get something stolen. If it's something worth a lot of money, like an iPhone or something, you have to make a denuncia. You have to make a statement at the police station. I've taken 1 million people over the years and interpreted for that. And then you go, you take that statement back for your insurance company to get your travel insurance, get your money back or whatever. If you don't make a statement at the Guardia, you do not get your money back for the item that you've had stolen or lost. You have to make these denuncias, they're called, but they're statements really at the police station. If you lose your passport, any incident that you want some comeback for, either, to replace your passport at the consulate, or you want, stuff that you've had stolen, maybe you've been robbed in your villa while you've been here or whatever, you have to make a denuncia. So whoever this person is who's had their Rolex stolen, they will have, well, I would imagine they would. I mean, they're going to go to, you're not going to just have a £13,000 Rolex stolen and think, oh, sod that, don't matter, I'll get another one. I mean, if they've got travel insurance, of course. If they didn't have insurance, but I can't, so oh God. Anyway, so where's the proof, Mark? Where's the proof? Where's the evidence?
When in Jay's disappearance. However, there are still a number of outstanding actions, and therefore we still remain open-minded to the possibility of this changing. The evidence is that Jay walked off from the rental, walked for about 30 minutes, and then sent his location at 08:49 and 08:50. And we know that he was at that stage off the road on a track with loose stones. And we have that fixed as a location on GPS. I now want to make an appeal for landowners in the area of Tino Rural Park to check any outbuildings and land.
Well, in English, you're going to make an appeal to Spanish people in English, and you think they'll be watching your little video on Instagram?
That they have, in the hope that further searches will continue by volunteers in the area not yet searched.
Listen, this guy's got a degree, he's got a master's in gaslighting. He's making an appeal in English to Spanish people who live in that area who won't be watching his video anyway. I mean, God, he just tries to make everything look so good, but it's just gaslighting. I'm sorry, but it is, in my opinion anyway. Well, I'm sure you'll all be letting me know what you think. Some of you probably think he's brilliant. I don't know, but
I've largely remained silent to date with our investigation, not giving any interviews, but have felt the need to make a statement now to clear up facts, which I've advised the family I would be doing. This has been...
Where's the family? Where's the family's approval for all this? Why has he not appeared with the family at all?
Done, as I hope it will enable people to accept the evidential facts and thus reduce the number of mis and inaccurate reports and information.
Oh my God, the cheek of it. In Spanish, we have an expression, la cara, the cheek. He's saying, he's hoping that this load of speculation will stop all the speculation. Because his speculation's okay. It's all right for him to speculate. And we're going to look, he's released the photo of one of the men that were in that Airbnb, which if I was that man, I would sue him. He's actively interfering in an investigation that's going on. It's terrible what he's doing, terrible.
That are being publicised and circulated. You will appreciate that as part of our investigation, we have spoken to a significant number of witnesses, both here in the UK and in Tenerife, including Jay's friends who are fully engaged with us. And as such, we've received a significant amount of both personal and sensitive information. We've even spoken to significant individuals in the drugs fraternity in Tenerife.
How has he done that? God. Of course you have, Mark. Of course you have.
Tenerife. Much of that information is highly sensitive, and so therefore we will not be releasing it.
Won't be releasing it because there is nothing to release. Oh my God, this man. He should have gone into politics, Mark. That's what you should have gone into, because gaslighting is what you do better than anything.
We continue our investigation to try and find out what happened to Jay. And if you have any information, please either contact the police in Tenerife, or you can contact us.
Oh my God, I wouldn't. Who's us anyway? Who is us? It's only seen you. You know, he's talking as if there's a big team. We haven't even seen you with the family.
Anonymously through the many forms of social media or through our hotline. Thank you.
Hotline. Oh, there's a hotline. Oh, there you go. There's the hotline. That'll be his mobile. Yeah.
It is now into the...
Oh. There you go. So you make your own mind up what you think of Mark Williams Twonk and what he's got to say. I know what I think. So let's now look at the Sun newspaper, because, of course, they've covered this story of the photo of the guy, one of the guys. Now, if I was this guy, I'd be suing him, because the police have said, whether you believe, you know, why would the police lie? You've got to think, why would the police lie? The police have said that these two men who rented the Airbnb were irrelevant to the case. But Mark Williams Twonk has gone and sold a story to the Sun. He says he's done it all out of his own money. You telling me really the Sun has not paid him for this picture and for his story? Of course they have. Of course they have. So this guy, now everyone will be researching about him, won't they? The first picture of the mystery man. The first picture of the mystery man who booked the Airbnb where missing teen Jay Slater spent his final hours. We don't know that they were his final hours. I mean, it's not looking very hopeful, but his final hours now. So he's dead as far as he's concerned, because he spent his final hours in this Airbnb. A picture has emerged of the man who booked the Airbnb Jay Slater went to hours before he vanished in Tenerife. Ayub Abdul. Now, you can imagine what's going on. There'll be all sorts going on there. How dare they name this guy? I hope they've got his permission. Are you allowed to do that? Just name someone, print their photo without their permission. You know, Mark was virtually threatening this guy, wasn't he? Because right from another press, well, so call it a press conference. It's not a press conference. Another social media video that he did. He said that he had a picture of one of the guys. He knew his name. And he's put an appeal to him to contact him. But if he doesn't contact him, he might be forced to publish it. He threatened the guy, really, more or less. It was like, if you don't come out, you know, and tell us all who you are and give me an exclusive, I'm going to publish your picture. And that's what he's done. So even though this guy and the other guy have been cleared by the police, and the police have said they are irrelevant to the investigation, Mark Williams Thomas has taken it upon himself to sell his story and this guy's photo. Everyone will be looking up who this guy is now. Ayub Abdul paid £40 a night to rent the remote holiday let in rural Deteno Park, where J19 spent time with the two men before disappearing. So here he is. So apparently this is his picture off Airbnb or something. I don't know. I'm not going to be looking into who he is or what's, you know, I'm not going to be getting involved in any police investigations in that way. If the police give me some information or give out some information, fair enough. But I'm not going to be listening to what the Sun says in the sense of, you know, they're like insinuating that he's got something to do with it, same as Mark Williams. But then later they say, we're not saying that he's got anything to do with it. So why are they printing his picture? Why are they printing his picture and giving his name? Would you, you know, I'm just thinking I wouldn't like that. If that was me and I just happened to bump into Jay, maybe had a few drinks with him or whatever. So then it goes back to the actual place. So two plainclothes officers searched the Airbnb on Tuesday. And to be honest, we don't even know that they were officers, because when the press approached them and asked them, you know, what was going on, they said they couldn't tell them anything. So you don't, there could be someone there to clean the villa for all we know. We don't know why they were there. Just because he had those forensic boots on, they didn't have the whole suit on. It wasn't a forensic team, as some newspapers reported. So then it is going to go through all the what happened. Here's the latest timeline. You know, these timelines just change so much, don't they? So, do you know, see, this is what the Sun are doing here. Do you know Ayub Abdul? Contact the Sun at exclusive@thesun.co. So, is Ayub Abdul going to contact them? They'd probably love him to contact them, give them his story. They're just looking for a story. So the two men Jay was with in the last 2 hours before he disappeared spoke to police on the island before jetting back to the UK, which of course that's where Mark Thomas is now as well. So I don't think, you know, he's gone out there. I don't think he's got anywhere, but he's just making it up now. God, we've gone from Isla in bed, we've got Paul the false mountaineer, and now we've got Mark Williams Twonk, and all the time it's distracting from the fact of Jay still being lost and his family's in agony. So the first photo, so both men have been described as irrelevant to the investigation by Spanish cops. Of course, we can't rely on the Spanish cops, bloody foreigners. They don't know what they're talking about. Send Mark Williams Twonk out there. He'll get it all sorted and everything. Can't rely on what those Spanish police are saying. Oh, God. The first photo emerged as former Madeleine McCann investigator Mark Williams Twonk issued an update on his own probe, sensationally claiming that Jay had admitted stealing a £12,000 Rolex watch before he vanished. Well, maybe he did, but I'd like to hear somebody different. I'd like to hear somebody different than Mark Williams Twonk say that, to be honest. Let's just have a look at that. So he said Jay Slater left the Airbnb. Oh, hang on, I need to swap that over. Jay Slater left the Airbnb, went with two men feeling scared after admitting to stealing a £12,000 Rolex, an investigator claims. Former detective Mark Williams Twonk said the 19-year-old did not want to return to the remote holiday let in northwest Tenerife, despite having little phone battery. So he's insinuating he was scared of going back there, isn't he? Do we have any proof of that? Not really, but anyway, we'll wait and see. Maybe he's right. Maybe he's right. But you know, until the family confirm it, or the police, of course, it'd be better if. I wish the police would come out and say more, because if the police would come out and say a bit more, idiots like him won't be able to just cause speculation, would they? Aye. Let's have a look at the Airbnb. Yeah, people speculating that they've suspended it. But have they, or is it just full? Let's have a look. Right, so I'm going to put in, say I wanted to go there from the 14th of July to, I don't know, till 1st of August. Let's see. No, I don't want the Abuela Casa de la Abuelatina. Let's see. I can't see anything on here that says it's been suspended, but I don't know. Sorry, I'm just trying to see if I can look at how much, if I can book anything or not. I think I've got to register for that, so I'm not doing that. Right, check availability. Right, I think I might be on there now. It just says it's got no availability. Let me share it with you. It's got now. It doesn't necessarily say. Let's have a look. So Casa Abuelatina in Masca. It says it's got no availability on our page for the 3rd and 4th of. Let's try another date. It's probably booked up, I would imagine, because it's the no, it doesn't say it's not taking any bookings. It says it's got no disponibilidad. No, there's nothing available. So it's only small. Don't forget. Well, it's one place, isn't it? Could be booked up now for the whole of the summer. Let me try for September. Oh, in fact, let's try for October. No, it says it hasn't got availability then either. So I don't know. Maybe they are not taking bookings. Maybe they've been told by the police not to. Yeah, this is the place. Oh, I'm sharing the wrong tab. I need to share. So this is the place. We had a look at this before, but it says there's no availability. No availability in October, but I don't know. There's only one comment on there. Fidel from España has said exceptional. So he enjoyed it when he stayed there. He stayed there in June for 4 nights. And he says it's phenomenal or exceptional, which you can imagine what that means. You don't have to be able to speak fluent Spanish to understand what exceptional means. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if it's just not taking bookings or whether it's just booked up. You know, it's I don't know. I mean, it's not a place that would suit me because it's too far off the beaten track, but some people like that, don't they? And to me, it seems like a place where you would go and stay if you were a hiker and you wanted to hike around those mountains. And it definitely will be busy now for July and August. It will be full. Most of the places will be full, but I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see anything for. I tried for October as well, but I will try and look into that. I may be able to phone them and actually speak to someone. In fact, that'd be a good idea, actually. So, but I need to find how to contact with the owner. It's all over Reddit as well. Thing is, so we've gone from Jay losing a bag of drugs. That was what everybody was saying the other day. He lost the bag of drugs, and the GoFundMe was like a ransom. But then Mark Williams Twonk has just said nobody's requested a ransom. Now it's this Rolex that is stolen. I mean, all these stories can't be true. So that's what we have to bear in mind. Only one can be true. But, and it could be just really as simple as, that he just went and stayed there. He decided to go home and he got lost. It could be just simple as that. Doesn't have to be all this conspiracy or that something untoward happened. Now, there is an investigation, and the family is saying they don't want to comment on the investigation. And in that statement that Jay's mum made, she said, we appreciate the profile, keeping Jay's case high profile, but just let the police get on with the job. And then Mark Williams Twonk comes out with that statement, gets everyone all, he always stole a Rolex and was he scared and this, that and the other. He really, I don't know how he sleeps at night, actually. He is a really quite a dreadful man. Anyway, there you go. What else did I want to show you? Oh, that's right. So talking of, well, I can't say dreadful men. They're not dreadful men, but talking of people, getting involved in this case and making things up, let's have a look what Paul Arnott's had to say. Absolutely nothing. So he's gone all quiet. So Paul Arnott has gone from, posting about 5 videos a day of the terrain, etc. The last post he put on was yesterday, 17 hours ago, whinging about the Sun newspaper. Strange, isn't it? So what he's saying is, amateur Jay Slater TikTok sleuth. Yeah. So now this is. So remember that Mark Williams Thomas is right close in with the Sun, isn't he? He's been selling his stories to them. And Mark Williams Thomas said he tried to contact Paul Arner and he hadn't replied. So Paul is in with Isla Tranquer, isn't it? Tranquer, and she's like another sort of, but they're not amateur sleuths, so remember that. Mark Williams Twonk's not an amateur sleuth, and Isla Tranquer's not amateur. It's just everybody else who is. So now they've started on Paul for some reason. Amateur Jay Slater TikTok sleuth wants to start his own crowdfund to pay for the rescue team, risking a row with the teen's family. So, and he's, Paul has put this on his own Facebook for some reason. I wouldn't have put it on, to be honest. I would have just ignored him. It's like you have to ignore trolls. It's like the Sun is trolling him. We want answers. We want answers, says the Sun. So he's having a go at Katie Davis. He says it took them less than 24 hours after posting something positive to turn on me. Katie Davis, you should be ashamed of yourself for your lies. So I don't know. Is that true? Has he set up a GoFundMe? Oh, these GoFundMes are awful. Which just reminds me, actually, let's have a look at the family GoFundMe. So the family GoFundMe is now on 48,000 euros. I mean, you know, they still don't know what they're going to need that money for, do they, really? Maybe to bring Jay's body home, isn't it? Might be they'll need some of it for that. Anyway, so it's still going up. People are still donating. 4,000 donations, 48,000 raised of the 30,000 target. So it's gone well over target. Might be a good, I don't know if any money's been taken out, but I just don't know. And you know, what I think of GoFundMe, just cancel GoFundMes in my opinion. But as far as if anyone's donated, that's up to them what they do with their money. I honestly, if you haven't donated to the GoFundMe, really it's none of your business. That's my opinion. And if you have donated and you're not happy with it, then ask for a refund. There's no point in complaining about it. There's a GoFundMe there, and people will donate to it if they want to, and if it makes them feel better to donate to it. It's nothing to do with me what somebody else does with their money, is it? Like it's nothing to do with anyone else what I do with my money. You know, it's just personal, isn't it? Yeah, I just had a little look at the chat there. I can't keep up with the chat because it is going quite quick. But yeah, there is no reward. That's a strange thing, isn't it? So I think if they put a reward out, you know, amongst the hiking, I think if it was me, you know, God forbid, I hope that's never me, having to try and find my son in that sort of place. I think what I would do is offer a reward to the hiking communities, you know, and in Spanish, of course, you've got to put it out in Spanish. I still think it'll be found, you know, by maybe a seasoned hiker or a guide, or, you know, there's trips going out there all the time, walking trips. And they could put out a reward, couldn't they, to these hikers and the guides, etc., for finding Jay. That would be, you know, it wouldn't have to be 50,000 euros. It could just be 5,000. You know, and people would look a bit harder, I'm sure. I mean, do people even know every day there'll be walking parties now going out there. Let's have a look. So imagine we wanted to go on a walking trip, which is stretching the imagination a bit for me. Well, not there. I do like walking, but certainly wouldn't want to go walking there. Let's have a look. So, yeah, book your visit to the Masker Gorge Trail. So if you want to go on a trip, you can go on one from €29.96. That's a funny amount, isn't it? Approximate duration 4 hours. Just can't imagine anything worse, personally. Difficulty high. So look, these people walking along there, there's some fencing there. But this is the Masker Gorge, where Jay's probably somewhere there or in one of there's a few different ones, isn't there? So walk the Masker Gorge Trail deep in the heart of the Tenno Rural Park on a trek that ends or starts at a beach with crystal clear. See, I still think Jay was heading for the beach. A trek that ends or starts at the beach. Probably if he would have had a guide, which obviously he didn't have, he probably would have found the beach, got down to the beach. They probably would have been able to take him down there. So I'll go on a trek that ends or starts at a beach with crystal clear waters near the Los Gigantes cliffs. Explore boldly but safely and responsibly. Now, I think if I was, really, if Mark Williams Thomas was a better detective, maybe what he should be advising the family to do is contact these people that are doing these trips, these trails, issue a reward, because they'll be going out there every day now in the summer. People will be mad enough to want to do these trails, and yeah, they're the most likely to find some trace of Jay, I think. And a reward would make them actively look for it. I mean, do they even know? So there'll be people coming out on holiday now. There are people that have flown out there this morning. They won't even know maybe about Jay because they might have come from other countries, but they might be booking onto this trail to go tomorrow, and they would, I really think that's where the answer could lie. Walk. So, highlights. The option of only doing the descent from the Masker Visitors Centre and then leaving by boat, or doing the ascent with access from the Masker Bay. So the difficulty level is high for the descent and high for the ascent. Uneven ground. Steps, areas with slopes and the possibility of slipping and falling. This activity requires having a good level of fitness. So they're not, people are paying to go on a difficult hike here. So then it says compulsory equipment. Each visitor must bring their own personal equipment except for the helmet. So it sounds like they give them a helmet. Let's have a look. So take note of the mandatory requirements and recommendations in terms of equipment for completing the trail. The special conditions of the trail, which has high difficulty, mean that you must have a good level of fitness. So the hike is physically demanding. Weather conditions can become challenging, especially on days with high temperatures. You need to bring sufficient water with you, at least 1.5 litres per person, because no drinking water is available along the trail, to ensure you're fully hydrated at all times and to reduce fatigue. It's also important to remember you should take precautions to protect yourself from sunburn and sunstroke during the months when the sun is at its strongest. And poor Jay had none of that, did he? He didn't have the water. He was dressed in t-shirt and shorts. He didn't have a hat on, I don't think, did he, or anything. So before beginning the trail, be mindful of the effort that such an activity entails. Check weather forecasts. And if you are accompanying minors, I mean, imagine taking kids along that trail. Supervise them at all times. And if you do not have any of the mandatory equipment elements, you will be refused access to the gorge. You have to take your documents, your ID, proof of being a resident or a member of a mountaineering or caving federation. Oh, that's to get a discounted rate. So your clothes and accessories that you need. Closed mountain hiking footwear and suitable clothing for hiking. Helmet. This will be loaned to you by the Masker Trail staff and must be returned at the end of the trail. Sufficient water, minimum 1.5 litres per person, mobile with charged battery, and specific medication if required by medical prescription. So look, you've got, this is what you've got to have with you to do this hike. Mountain hiking boots or closed trekking shoes with deep lugs are essential. Now, of course, Jay just had his trainers on, didn't he? They're essential for accessing the Masker Gorge Trail. Even if you have a booking, you will not be allowed to access the trail if you aren't wearing closed mountain hiking boots and shoes, such as these shown in the images. Oh God, I wasn't sharing then, sorry. Here's the images that they want you to wear of the types of shoes that they want you to wear. Yeah, so their rules are very clear, aren't they? This is how they want you to look when you go off on the trail. Helmet, clothes, hiking clothes, charged mobile phone, any necessary medicine, sufficient water, and closed mountain hiking footwear. So we know, this is a difficult trail. But yeah, contact. Yeah, so if I was, if this was my son, if I was Jay's family, and really, when someone goes over there to make an to help them with an investigation, maybe they should be looking at advising him with things like this. Contact, because this won't be the only place, the only hiking group, I'm sure. Contact the hiking groups, offer a reward. So every day that these hiking groups go out with a group of tourists, or maybe not only tourists, but maybe anyone who lives, in the area, there'll be Spanish people doing those trails as well. Be aware that there is a reward for finding anything to do with Jay that leads to the discovery of Jay. I think that's definitely where I would be aiming towards. All those hiking groups on that mountain, offering a reward. They've got the GoFundMe, they've got money to do it. Offer that and see if anybody comes up with something just in the general, hiking day, if you like. Yeah, and they might also find Paul Arnott's phone and his what else did he lose? Oh, Pedro's keys. So lost the keys to his apartment, the B&B or whatever where he was staying, and poor Pedro, the owner, he had to make him some new keys up, put him in a different room. He lost his iPhone. This is the search guy, and he broke his sunglasses. So maybe he should put a reward out for his old iPhone. Yeah, I don't agree with that, BF, because you put a reward out for anybody finding his body. I don't think it would make it look like it was criminal investigation. Just seems obvious to me. You go to the, if someone's lost on a mountain, and probably dead, supposed dead, and hikers are going out there day in, day out. Now, maybe that they'll stumble across him accidentally, but if you raise awareness and let people know, they'll look that little bit harder. They'll look that little bit harder when they're out. The police aren't going out there again. So you're relying on these people. I think one day that's exactly what will happen. He will get found by a hiker. If he's there, of course, you know, who knows what might come out of all this rubbish that Mark Williams Twonk has come out with. I mean, whose Rolex did he steal? I just think that there's, anyway, I'm just going to go back to this. So this guy, Ayub Abdul, what's he make of it all, I wonder? Are they trying to lure him out? Are they trying to lure him out and give an interview to the Sun? Oh, there's poor Jay. Let's have a look at their photo. That's the B&B where he stayed. Casa Abuela Tina. Now, by the way, there's massive protests in Spain about Airbnb. I don't know if you know that, if you've seen it on the news. Some places worse than others. Because you see this viviendas vacacionales. So this Casa Abuela Tina, it might have been a house that was rented out to a Spanish family before. And what's happening now is everybody's turning their properties into Airbnbs because you make more money that way from the tourists than renting it out to a Spanish family. And in Spain, rentals are, you know, more popular than they are in the UK. You know, it's not so much a thing to buy your own house. It's mainly rentals. And so there's demonstrations everywhere against tourists, not against tourists. It's not that they don't want tourists. What they want are houses to live in, you know. So they're complaining because they're saying that all these places have been turned into Airbnbs, which has meant there's not so many properties for them. So, you know, to rent, families are. It's a big thing in Spain that at the moment, or in some parts of Spain, in tourist areas, you know. And there's Jay's mum and dad coming out of the Guardia. And they wouldn't give any, when they came out of the Guardia Civil office, there was a Sun reporter there waiting for him and just trying to quiz him, and they wouldn't say anything to him. So this is what surprises me. Where has Mark Williams Twonk got all this information from? If Jay's actual parents won't talk to anyone, why? How come suddenly Mark Williams Twonk's come out with all this information? I don't think he's got it from the family. I think he's got it from other people personally. Who knows who he's been talking to? Hey. Okay. I think that's all I really wanted to tell you about. I don't think I've got anything else to show you. Shh. Stop it. No, so that's it for today. Now, as I say, I do keep trying to sort of wind down on this case, but it's impossible at the moment. But I just hope some proper news comes out, not just all this speculation. I don't know why they were at the police station, MZ. I don't know. They wouldn't say. They say they've been told not to say anything. So I don't think, you know, we're ever going to know anything about the investigation until Jay is found and it becomes clear. I don't think I don't think we're going to hear anything official until the investigation is over, and they won't consider the investigation being over until Jay is found one way or another, I think. So, you know, I know, Julie, it's my idea of torture as well, that hiking trip. Could you imagine doing that for pleasure when we're on holiday? It's like, oh, what shall we do on our holidays this year? Oh, I know, we'll go up this really dangerous gorge and pay to do it as well. Pay €30 to go and risk your life. No, thank you. But anyway, some people like doing that, so don't blame them. You know, we're each to their own, each to their own. Anyway, as usual, thank you for being here with me. I'm going now. I'm going to go and have lunch. I've got lots of classes. I might be back on tonight. Hopefully not talking about Jay, or maybe talking about Jay because there has been some resolution for, you know, he's been found one way or another. Who knows in this crazy world? But I'd like to come on tonight because, of course, we're on the eve of the election, the UK election tomorrow. I still haven't, you know, really done much about the election because it's all been about Jay, hasn't it, lately? But maybe I'll come on tonight, do sort of an eve of the election little. I'd like to talk about the people that I really most want to lose their seat. And of course, Andrew Snowden is standing, you know, those who have looked at the Nicola Bulley case. You'll know Andrew Snowden, the police and crime commissioner at the time. He's standing for an MP and filed. So we see how he gets on. A lot, you know, so only one more sleep and the polls open, the stations open. Okay, have a good rest of the day. I'm going to put on my little videos about Spanish classes, etc. For those of you who already know that I do Spanish or know about my book, Confessions of a Spanish Teacher, you can click out now. But some of you might be interested in listening to them, or some of you might just want to carry on chatting while I put them on. So I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, as always, may your God go with you, and prayers for Jay and his family. Hola, soy Vicky. And are you wanting to learn Spanish? Have you been trying to learn Spanish and it's just you can't put the words together? Common thing that people say to me is, I know a lot of words, but I just can't put a sentence together. So I'm here to tell you how you can learn Spanish through English. Learn how to make sentences, not phrase book Spanish. Learn how to ask questions, answer questions. Right from beginner or whatever level you are, if you're struggling in putting it all together, there'll be a level I can offer you a solution. So I've been teaching Spanish for over 20 years to English-speaking people. And these are the books that I have written. Break the Language Barrier Level 1 for beginners. Level 2 for intermediate or sort of pre-intermediate. Level 3 intermediate. Level 4 upper intermediate. And level 5 for advanced. There's really level 5 is to practice what you've already learned. So if you've already learned a lot of Spanish, but you want some practice with translations, conversation practice, games, etc., level 5 is for you. If you know more than level 1, in other words, you know how to already speak in the present tense, if your grammar has gone past the present tense but you're struggling with the past tenses, level 2 is the book for you. All these books are available on Amazon. Any Amazon, wherever you are in the world that you want to learn Spanish, you can order one of my books from Amazon. The other thing you can do, you may be interested in Zoom classes. I've left my contact details here on the video so that you can WhatsApp me or email me if you want to know about Zoom classes and how they work. Or another way you can learn is, along with the book, have recorded classes to learn. So although we're not sort of face to face as we would be on a Zoom class, you can still ask me questions. You can watch the class, on the video, watch the class which goes with the book. All the books have everything is the classes. I can either teach you face to face like we're talking now in Zoom classes, or if either your budget doesn't run that far or you haven't got the time for Zoom classes, we can do it as a course where you get the book and you get the actual recorded classes, and you can learn in your own time, but you can still ask me questions by email, just not in the moment because it's not an actual one-to-one class, but you'll find that is reflected in the price. So if you want more details of how you can become better at Spanish, and remember, it's always progress, not perfection that we're looking for. Perfection is impossible. Believe me, if you're going for perfection, that's not going to happen for a long time, if ever. But communication, confidence, fluidity, all those add up to be fluency, don't they? Okay, so hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Did you ever want to know a little bit more about me and my background, how I came to become interested in true crime? How I ended up in Spain being a Spanish teacher? If you want to know a little bit about me, a little bit more about me as a person, you can find my book, Confessions of a Spanish Teacher, on any Amazon site, wherever you live in the world. And I believe that everyone has a story to tell, and this is my story. So it's the story of how I grew up in Manchester in the UK on a council estate, and very humble beginnings, and my journey through personal tragedies, disastrous romances, and triumphs to become a single mum, a Spanish teacher, and an interpreter living in Spain, and eventually a YouTuber. Reporting on true crime. So it details my various experiences with people and places over 20 years of teaching, over 20 years now. Ooh, where did that go? Of teaching Spanish and interpreting through the backdrop of the recession, financial uncertainty, severe flooding, and living through COVID. I hope you will find it funny, sad, amazing, silly, serious, and stranger than fiction at times. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope to make you angry at least once. I hope to make you cry at least twice, and I hope to make you laugh many, many times. So thank you for all your support on my YouTube channel, and if you want to know a little bit more about me as a person, then you can find out there. So thank you so much. See you very soon in the next video. And as always, till then, may your God go with you. Bye.